I thought Roethlisberger was.
Well, when the Packers won in was it 2010?
Yeah, I thought Roethlisberger was the league MVP, but I'm going to look that up right now.
I think Rodgers got Super Bowl MVP though. The QB tends to.
It was Tom Brady.
Of the winning team.
Oh, figures.
Yeah, which we'll get to Tom Brady in a little bit, but the competition that Pat Mahomes has is, I think, significantly better than what Aaron Rodgers ever had to face in the NFC. Because we're talking about, in the AFC alone, Pat Mahomes has to go up against Deshaun Watson. He's got to go up against Lamar Jackson. All right.
Yep.
He's got to go up against Cam Newton now, which I still think Cam Newton is a more than really good quarterback. All right. And then we have to see what other... I almost said Russell Wilson, but he's in the NFC. Aaron Rodgers, he's had Russell Wilson, Drew Brees, but Drew Brees has been on a lot of bad teams. The Saints are never consistently great. They'll have a great season, and then a good season, and then bad, and then another great season, and then some more bad seasons. He's never had to worry about the Saints being a legitimate threat year after year after year. Russell Wilson, he has. Cam Newton, he had. But Aaron Rodgers never had the kind of quarterback play that you're going to see from Deshaun Watson, from Lamar Jackson. And I'm excited to watch it. I think that they could be, honestly, the face of the NFL, instead of giving it to one person, like they did with Tom Brady, and before him, Peyton Manning and Michael Vick, to have three great players in one conference, I think is going to be really beneficial for all of those quarterbacks. And I think that's going to give a level of competition that Aaron Rodgers never had to see. And I think Aaron Rodgers was underachieving because of that. When you play the shitty Lions twice a year, you play Jay Cutler's Bears twice a year, and you play the Vikings, who haven't had a steady quarterback until Kirk Cousins, like, he basically could cakewalk to the playoffs because the rest of the conference was bad.
Very true.
And then even the good quarterbacks in the AFC that aren't the same tier of talent, Ryan Tannehill is still a really good quarterback.
Yep.
You've got Drew Lock, who looks like he's poised to have a breakout season. If Justin Herbert pans out, you're going to have a good quarterback in Justin Herbert. Supposedly the god Joe Burrow, you know? So
very good to see what he does.
Yeah, so I'm very excited to be watching the AFC for the first time in a long time. Now, NFL MVPs. Let's see, was Aaron Rodgers ever MVP? All right, Aaron Rodgers. Oh, yeah, he was. He was 2011. He was the MVP, and 2014. So twice.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought he might have done it twice. I knew it was at least once.
Oh, man.
For sure.
Yep. It's all running backs and quarterbacks except... Oh, man, I didn't... Whoa. There was a kicker who was the NFL MVP in 1982. Redskins kicker Mark Mosley. Anyways, so do you think this contract will impact how Dak and how Deshaun Watson will get paid. Dan Beebe. We got the answer from Dan O'Shea. What do you think, Dan Beebe?
I think it's going to. I mean, you're definitely not going to see it anywhere near that magnitude of deal that Mahomes got.
No, that seems like it's impossible.
Yeah, I mean, I think for them it's either going to be the whole put up or shut up time. It's either they get paid or I don't know. Like Dak right now, what's his contract like? Or is he coming up for free agent?
So he's on a franchise tag worth $33 million. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he signed it.
All right.
Which
is fine. Franchise tag, for Dak, I think makes sense especially if you want him long term, and you're still just trying to figure out the exact negotiations.
I don't think Dak would have signed the franchise tag if he didn't feel like the sides were close to an agreement. I'm guessing they probably have one and just aren't announcing it yet. But let's move on because Pat Mahomes has taken like 20 minutes of our time. Other extensions. We just have a few other real extensions that we should go over. Kyle Shanahan, coach of the San Francisco 49ers, signed a new 3-year extension. Patrick Chung, 2 years, $6.4 million extension with the Patriots. The biggest head scratcher for me, quarterback Taysom Hill, 1 year, $16.3 million. A fucking backup who's probably a third-string quarterback after Jameis gets in there, is going to get paid $16 million for one season. Like, that's crazy.
Let's keep that avenue. Just sit on the bench. What the hell?
Seriously, it's insane. Laramie Tunsil.
Oh, I did want to just add one hilarious tweet that I saw. It was that the Bears saved themselves $500 million by trading up and getting Mitchell Trubisky.
That is true. We got just two.
I'm an idiot.
We got two more. We got two more extensions just to mention really quickly. Laramie Tunsil, 3 years, $66 million, and Christian McCaffrey, 4 years, $64 million. Those are the last two extensions that are worth noting. But yeah, Pat Mahomes, Kyle Shanahan, Patrick Chung, Taysom Hill, Laramie Tunsil, Christian McCaffrey, all signed or re-signed with their current team. Now, let's go over to the free agents because there's a lot more going on in free agency than there is in extensions. First, Cam Newton, 1 year, $1.75 million contract with the Patriots. Interesting. I kept seeing a lot of things about how they're surprised, and I just wanted to tweet, how the fuck are you surprised when I, this small-time Dan D'Antoni sports know-nothing, has been saying since February that Cam Newton's going to be a fucking Patriot?
He didn't say that.
I don't think you were the only one saying that, and I don't think that many people are surprised that he became a Patriot. I think it's more surprised at the contract because it's like so minimal and it's incentive laden. Because apparently he had no other offers, that part is crazy to me. I can't believe no other teams, wanted to offer a former league MVP and very talented quarterback, any sort of contract, even $3 million a year.
So for me, the whole thing is, I kind of understand it because he has, and a lot of people, especially the Patriots fans now, disagree with what I'm about to say. He's an asshole. Like, a lot of people don't like him. If you're an ex-teammate of his, he picks fights with you. Who wants to be around that? Nobody wants to be in a locker room where you're constantly getting into it with your own team. Nobody wants the shenanigans and bullshit that he pulls at a press conference just because someone questions him about why he didn't do something that he should have done. Nobody wants a guy who half-asses on the field when he doesn't feel like giving it his all, which he's done all of that in the past. Am I saying he's not talented? No, the guy was a league MVP for a reason. Obviously, he was extremely talented, but sometimes talent gets outweighed by character and by the type of person the team wants in the locker room.
I don't know. I don't really buy that because there's 1,000 guys that have had worse character issues. You know, I don't think Cam's been bad. A lot of later reports have shown that early reports on some of these arguments and stuff were inflated, and that no one else on the team thought they were a big deal.
He literally got into a fight with Kelvin Benjamin. Like, literally, it got to getting into each other's faces.
Yeah, who wouldn't? Kelvin Benjamin's the laziest player in the league. That's why he doesn't play anymore. Despite having a world of talent.
I'm just saying, there are going to be people who will stick up for anyone, but I've also heard that there are a lot of people who really don't like him. And
even though, for that level of talent, even with the injury concerns, even with possible character concerns, it doesn't make sense that no other teams were willing to, even give a shot to him, to have him compete with some of these worthless starting quarterbacks across the league.
I mean, it's the same argument as Colin Kaepernick. Why doesn't Colin Kaepernick have a roster spot? He's obviously better than guys like Nate Peterman.
Well, the league was against Kaepernick. I think that's been proven. I think the league has actually finally admitted that they were wrong in that whole thing. The ownership was pretty much presenting a united front against it.
All right. Anyways, let's move on because we've got more people to talk about. Eli Apple, Panthers, $3 million one-year contract. Sucked with the Giants, but made a little bit of a comeback with the Saints, and now is getting his shot in Carolina. Joe Flacco, 1 year, $1.5 million contract with the New York Jets to be the backup to Sam Darnold.
There you go.
Yeah, really quickly, I sent you guys that tweet from Josh McCown. That was just the greatest fucking tweet of all time. So it was, he retweeted something about Pat Mahomes with his 10-year contract, and Josh McCown said, "Wait, is this better than a 1-year contract with 10 different teams?" It was so funny. I couldn't stop laughing. So
that itself is Hall of Fame worthy.
What was that?
Just that tweet. I said that itself is Hall of Fame worthy.
Oh yeah. No, he's a Hall of Famer, definitely. Just for tweeting that shit, he's a Hall of Famer. But Carlos Hyde, 1 year, $2.75 million contract with the Seattle Seahawks. Ty Montgomery.
Didn't understand that one.
Ty Montgomery, for whatever reason, still getting kicked around. He's with the Saints now.
Thank you, Cat.
Yeah. Geno Smith getting another shot, this time in Seattle. Again, another quarterback that is not as good as Colin Kaepernick.
Right.
Prince Amukamara going to the Raiders. Devontae Booker also going to the Raiders. Frank Gore to the Jets.